Hey, everybody, it's Pastor Daniel. We are on day 40 of our 40 Days of Purpose. Today's special guest is Dave. How's it going, Dave?
Good. Hi, everybody.
It's good to see you again,
Good to see you too.
virtually. And soon we'll be able to see each other again in person, I'm sure.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, today's actually talking about living life with purpose. And he talks about the things that most people wrestle with is their identity. Who am I, and our importance? Does my life really matter? And then impact. Does my life make a difference? And so he talked about formulating a purpose statement for your life, and he gave 5 questions to answer. And the purpose statement is something that summarizes God's purpose for your life, gives you direction, so that you're not just like wandering around aimlessly, but that you have a vision and something to clarify your path forward. It's very structured stuff today. So as you're reading through it, what stood out to you?
Well, I feel like formulating a full statement or a concise statement of purpose is something that's going to take some time, and the author says that too. But I appreciated how the author kind of compartmentalized it for us and kind of gave us different buckets to think about, and that kind of helped me move along. But something that really stood out to me, and I think kind of helped me formulate all of the other aspects of what will eventually be my statement of purpose. Mm-hmm. What was this quote where he says, "Before unbelievers accept the Bible as credible, they want to know that we are credible." And I was like, oh, wow, that makes a lot of sense, and kind of drove my thought process in a lot of the other areas too.
Yeah, I agree. And I thought about you too as I was reading through this. You're a math teacher, and you're also into martial arts. And so to me, that seems like you're a disciplined person who likes structure. So yeah. I would imagine today is something that you maybe enjoyed, the structure that he had in today. Is that right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so for people that are more maybe like me, who are maybe less structure oriented, you could read this chapter and like, oh, this is a lot to process. But I really appreciated how it provided clarity for how to develop this statement, and also gave us grace to realize you don't have to come up with this in the next 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. It can take a lifetime even to figure this thing out. And so what are some takeaways that you have from today's reading?
Well, I think that one thing that's going to stick with me as I move forward and try to formulate this statement of purpose, like, thinking about all of the different questions that he asked, but also thinking about how, as humans, we are going to slip, and to recapture that discipline to move forward with our purpose statement. I wanted to look to scripture and kind of get myself kind of something bite-sized that could help me recenter myself in times where I slip up. And I look to Philippians 1:27, or at least the first part of it, where it says, "Whatever happens, conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ." And I just felt like that one sentence was something that I could use to kind of bring myself back to the center when I feel like I'm straying from my statement of purpose, or uncertain about my statement of purpose, or what direction I want it to go. I think that little bit of scripture could help me recapture my discipline.
Kind of recenter you. I think the first question that he had for us is that to answer for the purpose statement is, what is the center of my life? And that's what we need to be recentered on, that God is the center of my life. The whole study started out with, it's not about you, it's about God. And so who is the center of our life? And there was another thing that stood out was, he said, some people formulate kind of like what I'm going to do with my life with imagining what people are going to say at your funeral. Mm-hmm. And then what you want them to say at your funeral, and then living a life to fulfill that. And he said, that's a terrible plan. He goes, it doesn't matter what others, it doesn't matter what others say about your life. What matters is what God says. And so we start from the center of that. And that's going to give us something that, whether people agree with it or not, whether praise it or criticize it, we know that that's going to last. And so that was really encouraging for me as well, because people change their opinions on what is and isn't good all the time.
Yeah.
So do you have any closing words of encouragement for us today?
I think that it's going to take me some time to formulate my statement of purpose. Mm-hmm. But looking at the different kind of buckets that the author set aside for us. I've got some good starting points here, and I think that I think that just looking back at the blueprint that Jesus himself gave us, it's a good place to start. Loving our God and loving each
Yeah.
other is
Amen.
always a great way to start with any statement of purpose, I think.
I agree 100%. That's great. Well, hey, we're out of time. So thank you so much for spending time with me today.
Good talk to you.
Yeah, you too. Look forward to figuring out how we're going to regather the church in person physically in the next few weeks. So looking forward to seeing you again.
You too.
All right. And for everybody else, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.